Happy Friday night. Happy July. Happy Let's Celebrate. Hi, it's Richard Skipper, and welcome to my studio here on YouTube. Tonight I'm doing something different. I'm premiering a brand new film, and boy, am I excited about it. This is a celebration of the world of cabaret, and this is in celebration of David Sabella and Sue Matsuki's new book, So You Want to Sing Cabaret. I feel almost like Dolly Levi with both of them because I introduced them. I've known Sue for over 25 years, and anyone who knows Sue would agree with what I'm about to say. She is one of the most giving, loving, supportive people in cabaret today, on both sides of the footlights. She's very giving as an entertainer, and she's very giving as an audience member and a huge support of our community. And David Sabella, one of the greatest music teachers around. And they came together and they created this book, and Sue brought the best of Sue Matsuki and David brought the best of David Sabella together. And they created alchemy, very much like what it takes to create a great cabaret show. I'm going to drop a name, Carol Channing. Carol Channing once said to me, to be a great audience, you need doctors and lawyers and teachers and nurses and housewives and construction workers, all coming together, sitting in the dark and experiencing what the artist on stage decides to give to the audience. And it's very much like what Sue and David have done with their book. They've come together and they've celebrated the art form of cabaret. They've given us a little history of cabaret. And this documentary that you're about to see, along with some very special friends who are joining us tonight, celebrates the art form and what makes cabaret cabaret. For me, well, you're going to hear in this show what I think about cabaret. I love this community. And I'm so thrilled that you are here with me tonight to celebrate Sue and David's new book, So You Want to Sing Cabaret. Now go and enjoy the show.
What good is sitting alone in your room? Come hear the music play. Life is a cabaret, old chum. Come to the cabaret. Put down the knitting, the book and the broom. It's time for a holiday. Life is a cabaret, old chum. Come to the cabaret. Come taste the wine. Come hear the band. Come blow your horn. Start celebrating. Right this way, your table's waiting. What good's omitting some prophet of doom?
No. That's not it.
It isn't
what cabaret is. Just
not a men's club.
Not a strip joint.
Not the movie.
Not the Kit Kat Club. No, that's not it. But tonight, we're going to try to help you understand what cabaret really is. Welcome. My name is David Sabella.
And I'm Sue Matsuki, and we could not be more proud to be the authors of So You Want to Sing Cabaret, the 20th and last book in the So You Want to Sing series. Published by Rowman and Littlefield and sponsored by NATS, the National Association of Teachers of Singing.
We are delighted to celebrate this book with you, with a special concert with both live and pre-recorded performances by some of cabaret's most venerated celebrities and award-winning singers, all of whom are also interviewed in the book.
So over the course of this evening, you're going to hear from some of the most wonderful performers in music and word, what cabaret means to them, and hopefully what it can mean to you.
Hi, I'm Dawn DeRoe. Cabaret is important to me because singing is healing for me. And when I'm singing a song on the stage and delivering the music and the lyrics to the audience in front of me, I want to reach out and touch them with my voice and the message that I'm portraying and the story I'm telling.
Hello, this is Richard Skipper of Richard Skipper Celebrates, and I've been asked by Sue Matsuki and David Sabella to tell you what cabaret means to me. To me, cabaret is the special bond between the artist on stage and those people sitting in the dark. It's the connection between the singer and song and the audience, the connection between the comedy and the comedian and the audience, and it's the connection between you and me.
With this book, we've tried to dispel some of the misunderstandings and even misinformation about the genre of cabaret, and even about the word of cabaret, and instead bring you the experience, the expertise, and the performances of some of the genre's most celebrated artists. So what better way to start the evening than with an iconic song sung by an iconic performer? Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Lorna Luft.
You see, Harold had one tiny flaw. You see, he couldn't keep a secret to save his life. And this happened while my mom and my dad were getting ready to start filming A Star is Born. And Harold was called by my mom, and she said, "Look, you want to go out on the golf course?" And he said, "Oh, I'd love to do that." And it was leaving the office, the great lyricist Ira Gershwin said to him, "Listen, whatever you do, promise me, you will not sing or play any of the music to this movie for her because it's not ready." He said, "I promise." Well, they went out on the golf course. My mom was getting all ready to play, and Harold went, She said, "What's that?" He said, "Nothing." She said, "Harold, darling, I know one thing. You don't hum nothing." She also knew there was a piano in the clubhouse where she proceeded to drag him. And as they say, the rest is history. The night is bitter, the stars have lost their glitter, the winds grow colder, suddenly you're older, and all because of the man that got away. No more his eager call, the writing's on the wall, the dreams you've dreamed have all gone astray. The man that won you has run off and undone you. That great beginning has seen a final inning. Don't know what happened. It's all a crazy game. No more that all-time thrill. You've been through the mill, and never a new love will be the same. Good riddance, goodbye. Every trick of his you're on to, but fools will be fools, and where's he gone? Down the road gets rougher, it's lonelier and tougher. With hope, you burn up. Tomorrow he will turn up. There's just no let up. The livelong night and day. looking for the man that got away. The man that got
Lorna, thank you so much. That was incredible. And thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. I'm honored. You had to be our first guest tonight because you're first up in the book. You wrote the foreword.
It was my pleasure.
Thank you so much. So in the foreword, you go into some detail about your life growing up as a child, growing up surrounded by all these great performers and legendary composers, and of course, your mom, the incomparable Judy Garland, and what kind of a legacy was passed down to you by these great entertainers. And now how important the book is because we don't have that one-on-one legacy connection anymore. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. You know, while I was growing up, I didn't feel that they were legendary performers. They were in my house. They were part of my family. They were just people. They were friends of my mom's. But when I would go and I'd see them perform, it was different. It was way different because I was able to see them turn into the incredible entertainer. And that was really, really important because I learned from them stagecraft. I learned from them about communication with an audience. I learned from them how they made huge audiences feel like one person. And I think that that's, you can't teach that. I just did it because I happened to be in the wings, or I happened to be on a set, or I happened to be around them. And that's how I learned. So when I started my career, I thought back to myself, what did I learn? How did they do that? And it was always an aha moment. I remembered that because when I started my career, my mom was gone. And so I didn't have anybody to ask. But I had my godfather, who was Frank Sinatra. I had my Uncle Sammy Davis Jr. I had my Uncle Dean Martin. I had all of those people to watch and to learn from. I remember sitting in the Empire Room, and I was watching a rehearsal of the amazing Peggy Lee. And she really was incredible because she really didn't do anything. I mean, she didn't come on and use her arms and this, that, and the other. She was just talking to one person with her eyes. And I would watch her, and I would watch her communicate with not a huge, big belting voice, but this unbelievable way of phrasing a song that you really thought she was singing to you. And those are the people that I learned from. And I learned from watching a very, very young Barbra Streisand and watching her be nervous and watching her be insecure and then having this unbelievable, glorious gift when she opened her mouth and that sound came out. And I learned from people like that who maybe didn't realize that they were teaching the next generation coming up, but that's how I learned.
Yeah, well, that's evident. That's evident. We try to impart some of that in the book, as you know, with lyric connection, with developing your craft, with that intimacy and communication that is so very hard to teach, as you say, that one-on-one, I'm talking to you and I'm in your living room. And honestly, right now, I'm in your living room. We're in your living room. And that's really the height of Cabaret, isn't it?
I think what's really difficult about Cabaret is the fact that it's you, and there's no one to hide behind.
Right.
There's no script, there are no costumes, there's no, it's basically you're standing there and there's no one that you can say, oh, I didn't write this, or oh, I didn't do. It's you. And a lot of people I know can't do that. They get really intimidated. They get very, very frightened because they need all of the things like characters, and they need to be in, quote, a show. And it's a hard thing to learn, and the only way that you can learn it is by doing it, and by getting notes, and by realizing that it's incredibly hard, because you think all it is having a conversation with somebody, but it really isn't, because you're so close to everyone. And you get incredibly self-conscious, incredibly frightened. Cabaret's really scary. It really is, because if you feel that you screw up, you feel everybody saw that, and they did. But if you realize that you're human, and that's okay. I think Cabaret is maybe the closest form to singing music and lyrics as it is to stand up.
Oh, interesting.
They're alone.
Yeah.
Comics are alone out there. Cabaret artists are really alone. Yes, we usually have a piano player. Hopefully, we get a bass player and a drummer. But sometimes we don't. We just have that. It's the audience and you.
Right. Right. Well, we're so honored that you could be with us tonight, share your expertise and your talent, and thank you so much for your contribution to So You Want to Sing Cabaret. Lorna, thank you a million times over.
Well, thank you. And thank you for your incredible support, your incredible gift to me as not only my friend and my family member, because I do consider you family, but as one of the great, great voice teachers in the United States. I haven't studied with anybody outside of the United States, so guess what tag you're in.
Okay.
So thank you for all of that, and thank you for writing this incredible book, and I hope everybody goes out. I hope they read it, I hope they learn from it, and I hope they really enjoy it, and I know they will.
Thank you so much.
Our next performers are each multi-award winning singers, and each of them are featured in the book. Natalie Douglas, known as the Princess of Birdland in our book, can be seen every month at Birdland Jazz in her critically acclaimed tribute series.
Lenny Watts is currently the president of the Manhattan Association of Cabarets and the artistic director of Singnasium. And closing the set, we have a wonderful singer, director, songwriter, and teacher, Lena Koutrakos.
But first up, we have an amazing singer and director who happens to be So You Want to Sing Cabaret's cover boy, Mr. Jeff Harnar.
Cabaret is storytelling. It's very personal storytelling. In theater, often there is a fourth wall, imaginary, between the performer and the audience. In Cabaret, the audience is my scene partner. If I had to sum it up in one word, I'd say Cabaret is intimacy. Into me, you see. Into you, I see. And that makes a very broad umbrella under which I would say Cabaret is anything you can get away with.
The night is young, the skies are clear, and if you want to go walking, dear, it's delightful, it's delicious, it's de-lovely. I understand the reason why you're sentimental, 'cause so am I. It's delightful, it's delicious, it's lovely. You can tell at a glance what a swell night this is for romance. You can hear dear Mother Nature murmuring low, let yourself go, so please be sweet, my chickadee. And when I kiss you, just say to me, it's delightful, it's delicious, it's delectable, it's delirious, it's dilemma, it's delimit, it's deluxe, it's lovely. Time marches on, and soon it's plain. You've won my heart, and I've lost my brain. It's delightful, it's delicious, it's lovely. Life seems so sweet that we decide it's in the bag to get unified. It's delightful, it's delicious, it's lovely. See the crowd in that church. See the proud parson plopped on his perch. Get the sweet beat of that organ sealing our doom. Here comes the groom, boom. How they cheer and how they smile as we go galloping down the aisle. It's divine, dear, it's divine, dear, it's the wunderbar, it's the victory, it's the wallop, it's the winner, it's the voice, it's still lovely. The knot is tied, and so we take a few hours off to eat wedding cake. It's delightful, it's delicious, it's lovely. It feels so fine to be a bride. And how's the groom? Well, he's slightly fried. It's delightful, it's delicious, it's still lovely. To the pop of champagne, off we hop in our plush little plane, till a bright light through the darkness cozily calls. Niagara Falls, all's well, my love, our day's complete. And what a beautiful bridal suite. It's dreamy, it's drowsy, it's the reverie, it's the rhapsody, it's the regal, it's the royal, it's the Ritz. It's still lovely. We settle down as man and wife to solve the riddle called married life. It's delightful, it's delicious, it's still lovely. We're on the crest, we have no cares. We're just a couple of honey bears. It's delightful, it's delicious, it's still lovely. All's as right as can be, till one night at my window I see an absurd bird with a bundle hung on his nose. Get baby clothes. Those eyes of yours fill with joy when nurse appears and cries, he's appalling, he's appealing, he's a pollywog, he's a paragon, he's a Popeye, he's a panic, he's a pip, he's still lovely. Our boy grows up, he's 6'3", he's so good looking, he looks like me. It's still delightful, it's delicious, it's still lovely. He's such a hit, this son of ours, that all the dowagers send him flowers. It's delightful, it's suspicious, it's still lovely. So sublime is his press that in time L.B. Mayer, no less, takes a night flight to New York to tell him he should go Hollywood. Good God, today he makes such pay that Kitty Carlisle's his fiancée. It's delightful, it's delicious, it's delectable, it's delirious, it's dilemma, it's the limit, it's deluxe, it's the wallop, it's the winner, it's the voice, it's the regal, it's the royal, it's the Ritz, it's the big finish, it's the
Cabaret is something I love, and it's also my work. So I'm especially lucky. I get to do what I love for work. And it brings together a bunch of things I'm just crazy about. Words and music and history and stories and activism and politics and humor and connection, dialogue. That's what we do. We stand on stage and we have a conversation with the audience. And in the best of times, it feels like I get to know them a little bit and they get to know me a little bit, and we all leave there knowing ourselves a little better and knowing each other a little better. Best case scenario, it's transformative.
Alabama's got me so upset. Tennessee made me lose my rest. Everybody knows about Mississippi, goddamn. Alabama's got me so upset. Tennessee made me lose my rest. Everybody knows about Mississippi, goddamn. Can't you see it? Can't you feel it? It's all in the air. I can't stand the pressure much longer. Somebody say a prayer. Alabama's got me so upset. Tennessee made me lose my rest. Everybody knows about Mississippi, goddamn. Miss Nina used to say, this song is a show tune. Well, the show has not been written for it yet. She could not imagine this election year. Hound dogs on the trail, school children sitting in jail, black cats cross my path. I think every day's gonna be my last. Lord have mercy on this land of mine. We all gonna get it in due time. I don't belong here, I don't belong there. I even stopped believing in prayer. Don't tell me, I'll tell you. Me and my people just about do. I've been there, so I know. You keep on saying, go slow. But that's just the trouble. Too slow. Washing the windows. Too slow. Hitting the cotton. Too slow. Just plain rotten. Too slow. Too damn lazy. Too slow. Thinking's crazy. Too slow. Where am I going? What am I doing? I don't know. I don't know. Just try to do your very best. Stand up, be counted with all the rest. Everybody knows about Mississippi, goddamn. Picket lines, school boycotts. They try to say it's a communist plot. All I want is equality for my sister, my brother, my people, and me. Lord, you lied to me all these years. You told me to wash and clean my ears and talk real fine shots like a lady. You stopped calling me Sister Lady. Oh, but this whole country is full of lies. You all gonna die and die like flies. I don't trust you anymore. You keep on saying, go slow.
truth is we're not getting any younger, and the years are getting hard to pursue. In our youth, we are driven by a hunger for the big important things we will do. But today, I'm not dreaming of tomorrow, 'cause the future is so clearly in view. All I see is one more moment with you. I've never known a dreary sunrise. I've never known a good goodbye. I've never known a sweet reunion, one that didn't make this grown man cry. I used to think that life was complication with fulfillment far away. But now I know it's not the destination, but the living of each day. And the truth is we're not getting any younger, and the years are getting hard to pursue. In our youth, we are driven by a hunger for the big important things we will do. But today, I'm not dreaming of tomorrow, 'cause the future is so clearly in view. All I see is one more moment with you. In time we learn about the chain reaction, which can bring us heart to heart. While we all simply yearn for satisfaction, we forget the simple part. Getting hard to pursue. In our youth, we are driven by a hunger for the big important things we will do. But today, I'm not dreaming of tomorrow, 'cause the future is so clearly in view. All I see is one more moment. All I see is one more moment. All I see is one more moment with you. Just one more moment with you. Let the rain keep falling. We're not getting any younger. Just another moment with you.
Oh, let's pretend I wrote it, okay? It was the 3rd of June, another sleepy, dusty Delta day. Well, I was out chopping cotton and my brother was baling hay. At dinner time we stopped and walked back to the house to eat. And Mama hollered at the back door, y'all remember to wipe your feet. She said, I got some news this morning from Choctaw Ridge. Today, Billy Joe McAllister jumped off the Tallahatchie Bridge. Well, Papa said to Mama as she passed around the black-eyed peas, oh, Billy Joe, he never had a lick of sense. Pass the biscuits, please. Now there's 5 more acres in the lower 40 I got to plant. And Mama said it was a shame about Billy Joe. Anyhow, it seems like nothing ever comes and no good up on Choctaw Ridge. And now you tell me Billy Joe's jumped off the Tallahatchie Bridge. Well, brother said he recollected when he and Tom and Billy Joe, they put a frog down my back at the Carroll County Picture Show. And wasn't I talking to him after church last Sunday night? I'll have another piece of apple pie. You know, it don't seem right. I saw him at the sawmill yesterday up on Choctaw Ridge. And now Billy Joe McAllister's jumped off the Tallahatchie Ridge. Well, Mama said to me, child, what's happened to your appetite? Well, I've been cooking and you haven't touched a single bite. You know that nice young preacher, Brother Taylor, dropped by today. Said he'd be pleased to have dinner on Sunday. Oh, by the way, he said he saw a girl who looked a lot like you up on Choctaw Ridge, and she and Billy Joe were throwing something off the Tallahatchie Bridge. Well, a year is come and gone since we heard the news about Billy Joe. A brother married Becky Thompson and they bought a store in Tupelo. There was a virus going round, Papa caught it and he died last spring. And now my mama, she doesn't seem to want to do much of anything. And me, I spend a lot of time picking flowers up on Choctaw Ridge. I drop them into the muddy water off the Tallahatchie Bridge. I drop them in to the muddy water off the Tallahatchie Bridge.
Cabaret is a glass of champagne, a black and white movie, dancing till dawn. Now I sound a little poetic, don't I? But I'm a poetic kind of gal. It is bubbly like champagne, and it's often hilarious. It's black and white in that most of our music comes from the first half of the 20th century. And as for Dancing Till Dawn, well, our musical directors are certainly kittens on the keys. And you'll find yourself tapping your toes when you come to our shows. You see, I said I was a poet, didn't I? To me, cabaret is a musical conversation. It's personal and truthful and intimate, truly intimate. And I've been having these conversations for 35 years and counting, and counting. So good luck with the book.
And it was sung by Rudy Valley, and he had 2 other hits that year, Let's Put Out the Lights and Go to Sleep, and that very famous song, When Yuba Plays the Rumba on the Tuba Down in Cuba. Which I have been talking about for 25 years, but I've never sung it. And now you will hear why.
Seriously?
Maestro. Un moment, s'il vous plaît, maestro. Wait for me, I come. His name was Yuba. He was homely, he was dumb. That's right, it's Yuba. Just a big ambitious bum. He wouldn't do so much as chew a piece of gum. So this is news to me. I understand. He's an overnight success. He's in demand. Why I never could have guessed. Oh well, he found a big bass tuba, then he bummed his way to Cuba. I don't blame you for leaving. Not at all. And the rest. I would leave if I could. But I'm in the middle of this. I'm not about to give it up. And the rest is history. Down in Havana, there's a funny-looking booba. He plays a rumba on the tuba down in Cuba. Or when he's apple sell an apple, but this chap would rather grapple with his oompa, oompa, oompa. They prefer it to the boopa, doopa, doopa. They love the rumba on the tuba down in Cuba. It doesn't take him very long to get a tumble, for all the rumba lovers go into their rumble. Oh, how I'd love to be his double, for without a bit of trouble with his oompa, 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 he can knock 11 ladies for a lupa. They love the rumba on the tuba down in Cuba. He's not a green horn, he blows a mean horn, a must-be-seen horn. Oh, he's a whiz. While Havana loves his funny-looking booba, who plays the rumba on the tuba down in Cuba. I can't believe it, but they tell us every peanut vent is jealous of his oompa, oompa, oompa. They prefer it to the boopa, doopa, doopa. They love the rumba on the tuba down in Cuba. They love his oompa, 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 oompa. He's not a green horn, he plays a mean horn, a must-be-seen horn. Oh, he's a whiz. While Havana loves this funny-looking booba, who plays a rumba on the tuba down in Cuba. He's getting wealthy, strong, and hardy, thanks to plenty of good Bacardi and his oompa, oompa, oompa. Oh, he knocked the boopa doopa for a lupa. They love the rumba on the tuba down in Cuba. They love his oompa, 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 oom, oom, oom.
Well, that was amazing and hysterical. Thank you so much. We are delighted to have with us two members of the royal family of Cabaret. You've already seen the Queen of Cabaret, Andrea Marcovicci, and now joining us is the Crown Prince of New York Cabaret, Mr. Steve Ross.
Both of these spectacular artists have been performers for years and years and years at the legendary Oak Room at the Algonquin. I cannot tell you how excited I am to have you both with us today. Thank you so much, Andrea and Steve, for being here.
It's lovely to be here.
We're very pleased. We're taking a refuge from our royal duties and coming along and talking to you.
Yes,
I'm uneasy the head that wears the crown.
My wave.
Yes, thank you.
Did you know that you were going to be the Queen of Cabaret when all that started, Andrea?
Of course not. I followed Julie Wilson, who was the true Queen of Cabaret.
She was the real queen, absolutely.
I followed her into the Algonquin
in
1987. And I never dreamed that I would be there for 25 straight years. Indeed earned
that's
the
a
title of Queen of Cabaret.
Yes,
that is extraordinary.
That's a lovely segue. I'd like to talk about that. I wonder if you two could give us a little historical perspective on what that era of cabaret was like. What was it like being in that room, being part of that world? And are there still clubs today that offer that type of elegance where we could go and partake in that?
Well, for me, the Algonquin was a magical place because I would have a run that was as long as 10 weeks, and it was every year for 25 years. And the place was warm, and the oak lining of the room made it warmer still with the most beautiful lighting. It wasn't an easy room to play. It was quite surprising when I first saw it, because it was one long room and you had to play all the way from your left to the right. I always wanted a lazy Susan so that I could have been turned constantly. Are there rooms like the Algonquin? I don't think there'll ever be a room like the Algonquin.
No, I don't think so either. The wonderful part about it was, for me, both Andrea and I had a wonderful force behind us. An extraordinary cabaret impresario named Donald Smith, to whom much is owed from every circle of the people who now call themselves cabaret performers. And it was he who persuaded the management in the early 80s, 1981, of the Algonquin. And the Algonquin at that moment was still the Algonquin of old days, the Thurber paintings. And so he persuaded them to hire me. The last time somebody had played in that room was 40 years earlier, and it was Greta Keller, another cabaret chanteuse in the history of cabaret. And I was very lucky to be there off and on for many years. What I loved about the place is that you didn't come to the room right off the street. Like you came into the Algonquin's lobby from the 20s. And so already you were in a world of gentility and grace. And then the magic curtain parted, and you were able to supplement that world of civilization and conversation with this great American songbook that Andrea and I have been using all these years.
Yes, the music truly belonged. You knew that music really belonged in that room.
The composers, I'm sure, went there, and so it had extraordinary history.
They had the round tables there of many of these famous composers on the outside in that room that you speak of before you entered in. That was part of the history too.
It started off in the Oak Room, and then when it was so popular, it was moved off into what was then the Rose Room. But the whole thing was redolent of history. So when we sang a Cole Porter song, or when we sang a Decent Schwartz song, you knew that it was in the air in a way. I mean, maybe that's a little bit of a fantasy. Does this mean that today that cannot be created? Of course not. But you will not walk through a lobby from the 1920s to get to this beautiful space, which isn't to say that wonderful singers cannot recreate that. The lights go down and people start to sing, and the music itself takes you to that marvelous world.
You are so right, Steve. You are so right. As long as the music is being sung, we can create magic.
Absolutely. Yeah, it doesn't matter where. In this world of Zooms, we see chamber music and orchestras, people playing in their backyards, but somehow you go through that, and you go, which is very interesting. I found you go through the lack of the image, and you go through to what's really being said or written about or sung. It's a new way of appreciating this in a way. You know what I mean? What do you think? Maybe?
Well, I haven't done any Zoom concerts.
Nor have I, actually. No, not yet.
But I have a piano right over there. You never know.
I think I may try to convince both of you to do that. Yes.
If I may say to you, darling, is you and I guess you and Mary Clear Heron of happy memory, were the first ones that I knew that entertainingly gave us the information about the songs. No one had really done that so much. And I myself, who always wanted to learn, was enthralled by the way you introduced the songs and gave the background of the 40s or Irving Berlin. And that inspired me to do more of my thing. So it was a kind of a family where we got inspiration from each other. Don't you agree?
I think we all influenced each other.
Yeah.
I was the beginning of the true themed show, where it was historic, where the through line was the beginning, middle, and an end. I was the one to take those chances, and then people picked it up.
Yeah.
But I have to say, watching you, I'll never forget it. It's one of those moments in my life, and certainly in my singing career, watching you sing "Smoke Gets in Your Eyes." And realizing that there's an alternative story to be had in your personal energy was like, oh, and just this elegant woman about, yes, of course I know that's happening, but smoke. I just couldn't believe your rendition of that song, and it changed how I looked at a lyric for the rest of my life. So I thank you for that.
Thank you for what you said. Thank you. It still kills me. Do you know that song I can still not sing without crying?
I'm welling up just at the
After
thought of it. I am, I swear.
Control yourself, ladies. Control yourself.
It's a love fest.
Well, listen, I'm loving this. We need to move on. I want to thank you so much for joining us tonight and for lending your expertise to us. You're both well represented in the book. Steve, your chapter is so historical and really wonderful, talking to us about your early vocal development. And Andrea, your chapter is so insightful about how to perform cabaret, what the technical aspects of it are for the young singer or singer of any age. So I really want to thank both of you for contributing to So You Want to Sing Cabaret and contributing your entire life to the world of cabaret. After our interview, Steve was able to grace us with some words of wisdom and a song.
Hello, I'm Steve Ross. I'm very proud to be part of this book launch. I think Sue Matsuki and David Sabella have done a wonderful job in a very interesting topic of the idea and the accomplishment of singing in cabaret. E.M. Forster said, "Only connect." And that's what cabaret means to me. It's a very special kind of connection between the artist and the audience. It's an intimate connection. We're generally in the same room, which isn't to say you can't enjoy the Metropolitan Opera from the last seat in the balcony. But there's a very special pleasure and potency in being 10 feet from the person who's revealing himself or herself in this magnificent treasury of song that is known as the American Songbook. Many years ago, I had the great good fortune of reopening the Oak Room, which was one of our most beautiful rooms in town, redolent with memories. It's now moved on to a different life, but I was thrilled to be part of it. And I sang all the great classic people there. This one indicates Gershwin. So let me move into a song by George and Ira. I'm making up for all the years that I waited I'm compensated at last. My heart is through with shirking, thanks to you it's working fast. The many lonely nights and days when this duffer just had to suffer are past. Life will be a dream song, love will be the theme song. Soon the lonely nights will be ended. Soon two hearts as one will be blended. I found the happiness I've waited for. The only girl I was created for. Soon a little cottage will find us safe, with all our cares far behind us. The day you're mine, this world will be into. Let's make that day come soon.
Thank you so much, Steve. Another of our dear friends and a major, major cabaret star is Miss Ann Hampton Callaway. Ann is featured in our book as a singer-songwriter, and she's written many, many tunes, one of which was called At the Same Time, which was recorded by someone by the name of Barbara Streisand. She also wrote and sang the theme song to the TV hit The Nanny. Nat's members may also recognize her name because her mother, Shirley Callaway, was an esteemed member of the association for many years. Shirley also happened to be my first voice teacher. So when we went to Ann and asked her to give us a clip on what cabaret means to her, Ann, being the songwriter that she is, gave it back to us in song. Please enjoy the beautiful voice of Miss Ann Hampton Callaway.
Here's an improv about cabaret. Cabaret, not a small room or a movie, but the creation of an experience of music, which draws artist and listener into a pool of collective intimacy. Here
Thank you so much, Anne. You know, when Sue and I began writing So You Want to Sing Cabaret, the term social distancing didn't exist. In these last few months since the book has been set for publication, COVID-19 has completely changed the face of the live performance industry. Teachers and singers alike have been scrambling to adapt to new ways of doing what we do and adopting new technologies in order to do it. One technology that I've been using is called Internet MIDI by Time Warp Technologies. This technology can connect a singer and a pianist together in perceptually synchronous real time. Using this program, cabaret and jazz music director Gregory Toroyan and myself were able to work on this COVID creation. So here's a little example, a little glimpse of what might be possible. A little Stephen Sondheim by way of Rodgers and Hart. The sun comes up, I think about you. A coffee cup, I think about you. I want you so, it's like I'm losing my mind. The morning ends, I think about you. I talk to friends and think about you. Do they know? It's like I'm losing my mind. All afternoon doing every little chore. The thought of you stays bright. Sometimes I stand in the middle of the floor, not going left, not going right. I dim the lights to think about you, spend sleepless nights to think about you. You said you loved me, or were you just being kind? Or am I losing my mind? All afternoon doing every little chore. The thought of you stays bright. Sometimes I stand in the middle of the floor, not going left, not going right. I dim the lights, spend sleepless nights. You said you loved me, or were you just being kind? Or am I losing my mind?
Thank you, David and Gregory. That was beautiful. Our next two performers are as diverse and unique as Cabaret itself. The first person gave me my first booking at Carnegie Hall. and the second person gave me my first booking in Cabaret over 35 years ago. K.T. Sullivan, the artistic director of the Mabel Mercer Foundation, proves that a beautiful soprano voice is alive and well in Cabaret. And Sidney Meyer, the longtime booking agent for legendary club Don't Tell Mama, who we affectionately refer to as the mayor of New York Cabaret, will show you how he can turn any lyric into a comic tour de force. I hope you enjoy these two performances. These happen to be two of my favorite people in the industry.
When in Rome, I was home. Gay Paris was for me, London too, till I knew that Venice has water in the streets. Lost my heart in Montmartre, got a thrill in Brazil, ran around till I found that Venice has water in the streets. Anywhere in the world, a traffic jam is frantic, but when you're in a gondola, there's nothing more romantic. So adieu, Malibu. Though I'm so fond of you, I'm afraid we're through, for Venice has water in the streets. Tom Hubbard. Traffic jam is frantic, but when you're in a gondola, there's nothing more romantic. So adieu, Malibu. Though I'm so fond of you, I'm afraid we're through, for water in the street.
No question about it, a man is a problem. He'll drive you out of your mind. He'll cheat and deceive you. That is, if you let him. And yet, you'll find it's so nice to have a man around the house. Oh, so nice to have a man around the house. Someone sweet who's glad he found you, who will put his arms around you, and whose kisses just astound you. It's so nice. Well, a house is just a house, without a man. He's the necessary evil in your plan. There are many things about him you just cannot do without him, though it's just a constant game of cat and mouse. Meow. It's so nice to have a man around the house. It's so nice to have a man around the house. Nice man house. Just a guy in pipe and slippers who will share your breakfast kippers and who'll help unzip your zippers. It's so nice. A house is just a house without a man. He's the necessary evil in your plan. From the moment you awaken, he'll be bringing home the bacon, performing all the duties of a spouse. It's so nice to have a man around the
Hi, I'm Lena Katrakis. I'm a singer, a teacher, and a director. I actually have the honor of directing this evening's show. And I also have the thrill of being included in the book, So You Want to Sing Cabaret. Now, what does cabaret mean to me? Well, it means having a beautiful voice, having the desire to tell a story through a wonderful lyric, and having the courage to be yourself on purpose in front of as many people as you can possibly do that in front of. Now, I had a very dear friend who many of you know of, an incredible cabaret singer named Nancy Lamont. Nancy died long ago now and way too young from ovarian cancer. But a singer named Nancy Timpanero, Nancy Lamont, and I did a series of concerts in Amsterdam, and we were on a television show there where after the show, the host asked us if we could describe to his audience what cabaret actually was. And Nancy Lamont said that cabaret was as unique an art form as are the people who do it. And I think she's completely correct. It is also an honor for me to introduce the next singer and the next song. From the Great American Songbook, here is my dear friend, Miss Nancy Lamont.
What good are words I say to you? They can't convey to you what's in my heart. If you could hear instead the things I've left unsaid. Time after time, I tell myself that I'm so lucky to be loving you. So lucky to be the one you run to see in the evening when the day I only know what I know.
passing years will show. You've kept my love so young, so new. And time after time, you'll hear me say that I'm so lucky to be loving you. I only know what I know. The passing years will show. You've kept my love so young, so new. And time after time, you'll hear me say that I'm so lucky to be loving you.
Early on, as we were developing our concept for the book, Sue and I made a conscious decision to feature those performers who spend their entire life's work in the world of small venue performance. Yes, many Broadway stars find themselves on a cabaret stage, but not many of them actually know what to do once they're there.
You see, cabaret singing is not just singing musical theater songs in the crook of the piano. What is cabaret? Well, we certainly hope you buy the book to find out. But a shining example of someone who really does know what to do on a cabaret stage is Broadway star, the beautiful Karen Mason.
Karen has had a lifetime career on both Broadway and cabaret stages. She's received numerous MAC awards, including one for Major Female Vocalist and 3 Bistro Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Miss Karen Mason.
Hi, my name is Karen Mason. I think the things that I love the most about cabaret are, well, you get to make music and tell stories. You get to work with brilliant and generous talents. For me, my director, Barry Kleinbort, my music director, Christopher Denny, and we've worked together longer than 20 years. And when we get together and put together a show or an arrangement or just rehearse, it's just joyful. It's just so much fun and so hard. It's difficult, but it's worth it. The road is worth it. I also get to sing songs from the Great American Songbook. Also songs that are original songs that I know are destined for the Great American Songbook. And I get to wear really fabulous earrings and jewelry. This is very important to me. But basically, cabaret is about being human and sharing that experience with other people who want to understand, want to feel, want to share their humanity. That's why I love cabaret. It's just being human.
When all the world is a hopeless jumble and the raindrops tumble all around, heaven opens a magic lane. When all the clouds darken up the skyway, there's a rainbow, a highway to be found, leading from your window pane to a place behind the sun, just a step beyond. in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh why can't I? Thank you.
David and I would like to thank you all for being here this evening. We do hope that So You Want to Sing Cabaret finds its way into your libraries, and that you will encourage your students to look at this beautiful genre of cabaret and maybe even take a stab at it yourself.
Now, wait a minute, Sue. I'm not letting you off that easy. No show or book on cabaret would be complete without mentioning the legendary Julie Wilson. Now, you may know Julie from her many movies of the 1950s and 60s, but she was also a vital performer in the world of cabaret.
Yeah, we all called her the grande dame of cabaret, and what a dish this woman was. You should see how beautiful she was. She was just my friend and my mentor, and I have to say, I miss her every single day.
You see how modest Sue is? Let me tell you, my friend and co-author Sue Matsuki was the first recipient of the Mabel Mercer Foundation's Julie Wilson Award, handpicked for that award by Julie Wilson herself. In this evening's performance, here's a small clip of Julie Wilson, followed by her equally stunning protege, Sue Matsuki, singing one of Julie's signature songs, Too Darn Hot. Thank you all for joining us this evening, and remember, keep singing. If nothing else, it reminds you to keep breathing. Thank you all, and good night.
Good night.
I'm gonna live till I die. I'm gonna laugh instead of cry. I'm gonna take the town and turn it upside down. I'm gonna live till I die. I'm gonna look for my guy. I'm gonna play for the sky. Ain't gonna miss a thing. I'm gonna have my fling. I'm gonna live till I die. The blues will lay low. I'll make them stay low. They'll never trail over my head. I'll be a devil till I'm an angel. But until then, hallelujah, gonna dance, gonna fly. I'll take a chance, riding high. But for my numbers up, I'm gonna fill my cup. I'm gonna live until I die.
But I'm good company. I'm incredibly chic with just a perfect technique, a mixture of Latin and Marlena Dietrich. Have a bad reputation, but some good jewelry. And I've learned that in life, men grow tired of the wife now, and they always have time to see. Some folks think I'm evil, 'cause I love to give. But evil spelled backwards spells playboys live.
Hey y'all. It's too darn hot. It's too darn hot. I'd like to sup with my baby tonight and play the pup with my baby tonight. I'd like to sup with my baby tonight and play the pup with my baby tonight. But I ain't up to my baby tonight, 'cause it's too darn hot. It's too darn hot. It's too darn hot. I'd like to coo with my baby tonight and pitch some woo with my baby tonight. I'd like to coo with my baby tonight and pitch some woo with my baby tonight. But brother, you fight my baby tonight, 'cause it's too darn hot. According to the Kinsey report, every average man you know much prefers to play his favorite sport when the temperature is low. But when the thermometer goes way up and the weather is sizzling hot, Mr. Adam for his madam is not, 'cause it's just too darn hot. It's too darn hot. It's too darn hot. That's the very hot Mr. Gregory Teroyan. Summertime and the living is easy. The summer wind came flowing in from across the sea. We're having a heat wave, a tropical heat wave. 70 today. We got a clang, clang, boom, steam heat. We got a clang, clang, boom, steam heat. Hot time, summer in the city. Back of my neck getting dirty and gritty, 'cause it's hot. Yeah, it's hot. RH, I want to cool with my baby, make some woo with my baby, but it's too darn hot. It's just too darn hot. According to the Kansas report, every average man you know much prefers his lovey-dovey to sport when the temperature is low. But when the thermometer goes way up and the weather is sizzling hot, Mr. Gob for his squab, a Marine for his queen, a GI for his cutie pie is not, 'cause it's just and the heat wave. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I am so excited about this film. I mean, how do you both feel now that that part of the process is over?
I'm very happy that that part of the process is over. I'm very proud of what we did.
Yeah.
Sue curated the clips and so well, and our live performers were so generous with what they gave, and it really came together very nicely. I'm very happy.
Yeah, I'm very proud of this product. I'm very proud of this. So I think it exceeds David's and my expectation, and really regards to Roger Liam for laying this out for us and doing such a good job for us, and Lena directing it.
Lena Katrakis.
Yes, Lena. What I'm really happy about, and I hope
wish that Lena was here with us tonight.
I do too. Of course I do. Yeah. Yes. What I'm really happy about, which I didn't realize until I saw the whole thing, is that I believe it is actually a little educational as well as entertaining. So double whammy. I'm glad about that.
And those clips of Julie Wilson again. Oh my God. And
Nancy Lamont. Everybody was wiped out with Nancy Lamont seeing Nancy again. All of our performers were wiped out seeing Nancy again. So that was beautiful.
And then, of course, I mean, you, Sue, at the Bistro Awards, which was your last public appearance before COVID.
Before COVID.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, the book is available on Amazon.com, but we would like people to go through Cabaret Hotspot.
Yes.
Why is that?
Well, because if you buy it from Cabaret Hotspot, either I or Sue can actually sign it for you before we send it off. And when we can both get in the same room again, we can both sign it for you.
So I'm sure that everybody's going to be going all over New York and beyond with their copy of So You Want to Sing Cabaret in their backpack, in their purses, whatever, and just pay it on. And I know you both have been very, very busy in terms of promotions, and it's a whole different world promoting it through the internet. But what's next for both of you as far as the book is concerned?
Well, we've got a workbook we're working on with additional information on how to sing in this new paradigm. And we have lectures coming up for libraries, and we're going to use this product for lectures. But before I say anything else, Richard, I just want to thank you for your constant support of both of us and for this project and this book. You've been there from day one, when we sat down at that table, the three of us, and talked about this. And I just want to thank you for this evening and for everything you've done for us.
Yeah, I have to say, Richard Skipper, you changed the course of the book, of the whole product. You really did. So I thank you. And I say that in the acknowledgments, but I want people to know that it was you who introduced me to Sue Matsuki and really changed the course of the whole thing. So thank you.
See, when I said that in my introduction tonight, I wasn't making that up. Anyway, I love you both. I'm so thrilled for this project. And, you know, everyone, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
You had a great time. Do me a favor, subscribe to Richard Skipper Celebrates. There are lots of videos. This is my first premiere here. So I'm very honored that you both entrusted me with this. And I see a million seller when people can actually go out. And but you don't need to go out.
I'll tell you something. We've already sold out the first press.
I know. I can't even get my books. I can't even get my books because they took my books to sell.
So thank God to the gods that we've sold out the publisher's first pressing of the book, and we're already into the second pressing.
So before I let you both go, I know that you want everyone to go through Cabaret Hotspot. Is there a link or a special address that they can come to, or is it just cabarethotspot.com?
Right on cabarethotspot.com, on the main navigation bar, there is a button that says the book.
Yeah, buy the book. Yeah, book on sale. Yep.
Well, thank you both so much, and I love you dearly.
We love you back, Richard.
Thank you.
Okay. Happy July.
Happy July, and thank you everyone for watching tonight.
Thank you.